Idiots who can't speak aren't family. We're giving her to the hag. Get out. What on earth are you doing? I pushed past my defiant son and his wife, protectively hugging my granddaughter who was clutching her cheek in pain, glaring at them. The unrepentant couple continued to belittle their mute daughter. Unable to stand it anymore, I decided to raise my granddaughter myself and took her home. 10 years later, when we returned to our home country from overseas, my son and his wife showed up. We missed you. We're family, aren't we? Let's live together. Idiots aren't family. Please go back. My name is Margaret Patterson, a 60-year-old housewife. A few years ago, I lost my husband, and I've been living alone in a large house. I considered living with my son, Jack, and his wife, Mary, but I decided it would be better to live separately. For some reason, I just couldn't get along with my own child and his wife. Besides, I might end up helping out in the bar they run. My body isn't as agile as it used to be, and embarrassingly enough, I'm not good at customer service. If we were to live and work together, it would probably stress us both out. So I decided not to live together. Even after my husband passed away and I started living alone, Jack never suggested we live together. I appreciated that. I was finally free from child rearing and caring for my husband, so I decided to enjoy my time alone. But once I started living alone, it was lonelier than I had thought. I didn't have any hobbies or friends, as I had spent all my time on housework, child rearing, and caregiving. I spent every day watching reruns of TV dramas to pass the time. Even when I tried to establish new habits, they didn't last long. For me, living such a boring daily life, the presence of my two granddaughters was very significant. Emily, the eldest, is 10 years old, and the second daughter, Lily, is 6 years old. They're both very cute girls. Emily is beautiful and good at acting like an adult. On the other hand, Lily is a bit clumsy and quiet. She's often compared to her beautiful and mature older sister, and she feels lonely. I love both of them, but I was particularly on Lily's side. I could see that she seemed to be disliked by both her parents and Emily. My son and his wife, Jack and Mary, would bring my granddaughters to visit about once every 2 months. Grandma! Emily would run to me with an innocent smile. Her clothes were always new, and her long hair was always adorably done up. On the other hand, Lily's clothes were always Emily's worn-out hand-me-downs. Her hair was also left untamed and messy. Lily loved to talk and was chatty since she started to speak. But recently, she became quieter, and unlike Emily's bright smile, Lily often looked down with a gloomy face. After greeting Emily with a "nice to see you," I crouched down in front of Lily and spoke to her. Lily dear, welcome. Thank you for coming. I prepared some of your favorite sweets today. Let's eat together.
Grandma, what about my sweets?
Of course, I have yours too. Let's go. As I held hands with the girls, Jack and Mary got out of the car and called out to me. Hey Mom, long time no see. Here's a souvenir. Oh, thank you. Have you two been well? Please, make yourselves at home. Thank you, Mother-in-law. I welcomed my son and my daughter-in-law and granddaughters into my house, served them tea and sweets, and entertained them. Jack and Mary would talk only with Emily and not pay any attention to Lily. Whenever I tried to speak to Lily, Emily would interrupt, or Jack and Mary would start a different topic. I was concerned about their attitude towards Lily, but I thought it best not to interfere too much and just kept an eye on them. However, I would later regret this approach. One day, I had plans to visit Jack and Mary's house and brought along some sweets that they and the girls liked. Upon arriving at their house, I reached out to ring the doorbell. Just then, I heard Jack yelling something from inside the house. Why don't you say something instead of just being quiet? I was shocked. As I reached for the front door, it opened easily. Without hesitation, I removed my shoes, and as I walked down the hallway, I could hear the voices coming from upstairs.
You know it's because you don't talk at school that I'm being embarrassed, right?
As I climbed the stairs, the shouting continued, followed by a sharp, dry sound. Upon opening the door from where the sound came, I found Jack and Mary scolding Lily, who was sitting on the floor, while Emily was waving her hand as if in pain. Lily was about to cry and holding her cheek, and Emily seemed to be in pain, waving her hand around. Hey, Lily, you got smacked by your sister, didn't you? How about saying it hurts? If you can't speak, you're no longer family. Get out. We'll send you to Hag's home. What the hell are you guys doing? I brushed aside my son and his wife and Emily, hugged Lily, who was sitting on the floor to protect her, and glared at them. The three of them were momentarily surprised, but quickly regained their composure. Mom, what are you doing barging in like that? You should have rang the doorbell first. That's right, Margaret. Aren't you rude? What's rude is what you guys are doing. Surrounding and berating a little girl? Jack, aren't you a father? Aren't you ashamed to mistreat your child? And Emily, why did you hit your sister? For the first time, I scolded Emily loudly. She seemed scared for a moment, but lowered her head and said, "'Cause..." Mary pulled Emily towards her, hugged her, and glared at me. "Please don't blame Emily." I glared back without backing down. Protecting Emily, who hit her sister, is not the right response for a mother. Jack, who was watching, pointed at me and yelled, "Mom, what are you thinking? Get away from that idiot." The idiots are you guys. Apologize to Lily. Huh? Who's going to apologize? Neither Jack, Mary, nor Emily seemed to show any remorse and relentlessly insulted Lily. Lily, who was in my arms, was grabbing my clothes weakly with a vacant look on her face. Had they been doing this to her all along? Before I could think, I lifted Lily and declared, "I will take care of Lily. I can't leave her here." Leaving the three stunned people behind, I stormed out of the room. After standing still for a while, Jack came running up with a smirk on his face. "Thanks, Mom. I didn't know how to handle this mute." As I was stunned by my son's words, Mary appeared from behind. She was holding a tattered little carry-on bag and a backpack. "This is Lily's stuff. Please take care of the rest," Mary said, passing the bags roughly to me. Both Lily and I were speechless, looking up at the faces of my son and my daughter-in-law. They were clearly pleased that Lily was leaving their home. Astonished, I left their house without saying a word. In silence, I returned home and took off Lily's shoes at the entrance. Then she sniffled. Looking at Lily's face, I saw her biting her lip with tears streaming down. I hugged Lily, gently patting her on the back. "Lily, it's been hard on you. I'm sorry I couldn't help you until now, but it's going to be okay. Grandma's on your side now. I will protect you." From that day, Lily and I started living together. Because of the hurt she'd experienced from her parents, she stopped speaking. Even a simple good morning seemed impossible for her to vocalize. Her teacher told me that she had been unable to communicate with her classmates or teachers at school. Worried, I took her to the hospital for a medical checkup. Lily was diagnosed with selective mutism. The doctor speculated that the extreme stress she had suffered from her parents and sister had caused severe anxiety and fear, making her unable to speak even if she tried. The doctor reassured me that as she got used to her new environment, she would gradually be able to speak again. On the way home from the hospital, I bought Lily a cute notebook and a pen. "Listen, Lily, if you have something you want to tell me or anyone else, write it in this notebook. Draw pictures or write words. Then try to voice the words you wrote, even just a little at a time, okay?" Lily quickly opens the notebook and began writing with a pen. As I silently watched, she showed me the page she had been writing on. On it were the words, "Thank you, Grandma," along with a sketch of my face. Lily opened her mouth and tried to say,
The,
but she couldn't get the words out and looked down, disappointed. "Lily, you're doing great. Keep it up one step at a time. Well done. Gold star for you." As I patted her head, Lily looked up and managed a faint smile. She started using the notebook and pen I bought for her to communicate at school. I guess she's gaining confidence. She gradually learned to speak, and 2 years later, she could speak normally.
Grandma, today at school.
The moment Lily returned home, she'd report to me about the happenings at school. Seeing how she'd fully recovered and was brimming with life put my mind at ease. Then, one day, I visited the school for a 3-way conference. Upon entering the classroom, a kind-looking teacher greeted us. Both Lily and I responded with a "Hello, teacher," and took our seats. As I discussed Lily's behavior at school and at home, she shyly squirmed in her seat. "Lily's grades have been consistently improving since last year. Take a look at this," the teacher said, showing us her report card. The chart indicated a steady upward trend since she began living with me and had shot up significantly recently. I'm sure it's because she's so dedicated to studying. She's been reading difficult books and solving complex problems almost every day, I explained, patting Lily's head. Ever since she learned to speak, she'd been passionate about studying. At home, she'd delve into complex books and study, and on test day, she'd present me with perfect scores. I framed and hung all her perfect test papers, looking at them with a sense of pride. I see. In that case, how about taking an IQ test at the hospital? Suggested the teacher. IQ test? When I asked for clarification, the teacher explained, Lily might be gifted. Gifted refers to children who are naturally very intelligent. Lily seemed to be just as smart, if not more so, than an adult. The teacher suggested that it might be worth getting an IQ test done so that we could provide an educational environment suitable for her exceptional talents. So I immediately took Lily to the hospital for an IQ test. As the teacher had suspected, Lily was indeed gifted. I was amazed to find out that Lily had such an amazing ability. When I asked her, "How did you find the studies in elementary school? Is it fun?" she responded with a bored expression.
Well, to be honest, it's too easy and I find it boring. I want to study something more challenging. But if I tell the teacher, they get confused.
Hearing her words, I started to ponder. I wondered if Lily could pursue the kind of studies she wished for in America. The studies that Lily desires are probably at a middle school or high school level. I wondered if Lily, who has not yet graduated from elementary school, could handle this. I consulted with her homeroom teacher. The teacher then told me about the grade skipping system in the US. The teacher suggested that if Lily went to America, she could pursue the study she desired. It reminded me that my late husband's brother was working in America. I hadn't been in touch with him since my husband passed away, but he might be able to help. As soon as I reached out and consulted with him, he said he would support our life in the US. Relieved, I suggested to Lily the idea of studying abroad in America.
I want to go if it's with Grandma, but I want to graduate from elementary school with my friends first.
All right, I understand. I'll also learn English by the time you graduate. At that response, Lily smiled relieved. She made many memories in elementary school and graduated without any issues. Since we exchanged contact information, she can communicate with her friends even overseas. I decided not to mention the study abroad plan to Jack and Mary. I thought they might try to take her back if they found out Lily was gifted in order to use her. Lily quickly adjusted to life in the US and studied by skipping grades. I supported her with all my might. When I saw Lily saying, "Studying is more fun than before," I truly felt glad that we came to the US. Her talent is truly incredible. After a few years of studying in the US, she enrolled in Harvard University, studied business, and before I knew it, she had started her own company. "I want to repay my grandma," Lily said enthusiastically. "For me, she's already repaid me enough." After all, Lily has grown up and become a wonderful adult. Her achievements were featured on American news, spread worldwide, and she became a celebrity. In all likelihood, Lily's name is known in the worldwide as well. I wonder what Jack and Mary think of her achievements. I would be happy if they regret how they've treated her. 10 years after Lily started her company, for work reasons, Lily and I returned back to our country. We rented a new apartment, and while we were living there, the doorbell rang. I thought it might be a circulated notice, and without any suspicion, I opened the door. "It's been a while, Mom. Have you been doing well?" "Jack, and Mary too, why are you here?" Upon seeing the two faces, I couldn't help but shudder. I had changed my contact information and was living far away from the house I had lived in before. How did they find me here? Ignoring my surprise, Mary called out into the house. "Hey Lily, you're here, right? It's your mom. I've come to see you after such a long time." "What do you want? Please don't approach my daughter." "Don't be cold, Mom. We are Lily's parents after all." "That's right, mother-in-law. Lily is here, right? Please let us meet her." "Wait, don't just barge in like that." Without giving me a chance to stop them, the two of them pushed past me and entered the house. As I was trying to stop them, Lily peeked out from the living room. "What's wrong, Grandma?" "Wait, what?" Lily, too, seemed surprised by the sudden visitors. I awkwardly turned my face away. On the other hand, my son and his wife seemed delighted to finally see Lily. "Oh, Lily, I've missed you. You've grown so much." As Mary reached out to hug her, Lily brushed off her arms. "If you want to talk, I'll listen in the living room. I'll prepare some tea, so please wait on the sofa." With a cold statement, Lily began preparing tea in the kitchen. Jack and Mary unreservedly plopped themselves down on the sofa and started reminiscing with her one-sidedly. Growing concerned, I called out to Lily. She winked at me, signaling to leave it to her. When I sat down opposite them, I was immediately confronted with the main issue. The pub my son and his wife were running had gone out of business due to poor management. Their older daughter Emily had also gone off the grid since she started working, and they had no idea what she was doing or where she was now. Jack and Mary, having lost their jobs, were currently living in poverty and had no idea when they would run out of savings. "Hey, Lily, would you consider supporting us? You ran away from home at 6, but until then, we raised you. You should pay your respects." "Lily, you must have felt lonely not being able to see us all this time, right? But let's live together from now on. Let's create memories as a family, making up for the time we were apart." I couldn't stand to watch my son and his wife pathetically pleading with Lily. While it pains me to say this about my own son, I just can't understand how he turned out this way. Where did I go wrong in raising him? Lost in my own guilt, I was snapped back to reality by Lily's voice. "Idiots aren't my family. My only family is Grandma. Please see yourselves out." She wore a cool smile I had never seen before. "But Lily..." "Wait, please." Regardless of their pleas to live together, Lily didn't budge. She forcefully pushed them out the front door, locking it with a definitive click. Looking out the window, I could see my son and my daughter-in-law slinking away with slumped shoulders. "Grandma..." "What is it, dear?" "Should we move?" With those words, she laughed. She apparently had been secretly planning to build a house for us to live in together. She designed it with accessibility in mind for my sake. "Thank you, Lily." As I thanked her, she blushed and gave an embarrassed laugh. Several months later, we moved into our new home. Thanks to the accessible features Lily planned, I'm living comfortably. Our shared memories are framed and displayed on the walls. Even the notebook and pen we bought when we first started living together are there. every time I see them, I'm moved to tears. Today, I think I'll make Lily's favorite dish for her. With that thought, I headed to the kitchen to start cooking.